Hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us once again for Robbins Design Center's Zine Week. Earlier, we talked about what human-centered design is. We have also seen that the term VUCA is ever present and we need to constantly respond to it. Ngayon, what does human-centered design have to do with all of this? Well, let's now look into the five-step process, which is used in the context of this presentation and as a primer on how to have a human-centered design mindset. I have clustered the five-step process into three main talking points para mas madali. Okay, so for our first talking point, new needs will arise due to the pandemic. And to survive, we need to satisfy those needs. We empathize and look at the status quo. What is the current situation? Our references here will be the accessible data that we currently have. These are qualitative or quantitative data that you might have stored. From there, we will then need to feel where the pain point is coming from. Then, we define why this pain point is happening. What are my current practices? Are they still relevant? What seems to be the problem? Because we are also responding to the disruption of the pandemic, what do we streamline first? While the disruption of design is evident across multiple dimensions, there should be a priority of what needs to be resolved to achieve the desired impact. Know that there are also limitations present, and that these are also points to consider when defining what needs to be addressed. So now for our second talking point. We translate these needs into actionable design. This is where the collaborative, creative process begins. We ideate for this step. For a designer, a problem can be resolved in a multitude of ways. Your creativity is the boundary. At times, an outside perspective can give insight as to how a present consumer may see the situation. Similarly, ideating a design does not necessarily have to be what your consumers see. It may be an internal process that needs to be addressed. Then, we can start to prototype after formulating multiple ideas to solve our problem. We can start by testing multiple small-scale ideas and then generate results from them. This is where the speed of the digital landscape is as valuable. As processes become shorter and the consumer has more control over what they want. The reception to our prototypes give valuable feedback to our ideas. If we try to prototype our ideas in the physical landscape, however, we may not get results immediately as there are present limitations to physical interaction and feedback. Okay, our third talking point is that not everything can be part of the digital landscape yet. After we have generated feedback from our prototypes, we can now test which results will work better once we implement new designs. Remember in the previous slide I mentioned how the reception from the prototype stage will give valuable feedback? Well, because things move faster in the digital landscape, it is also faster to be replaced. Kaya it's not enough to be complacent when new designs are restructured and implemented. There is also a limitation of experiencing design through a digital landscape, as not all senses are captured with the digital interactions that we have. Thus, we have to try again until we find the perfect fit for our design.